Before I introduce my guests to you, I'm just going to ask my camera guys, hopefully they can hear me. We can just get a shot of, I just want you to have a look at what's happening behind us, just to look at the scenery that's behind us, because I mean, that's really what it's all about, coming to you live from Abuja, that you can actually see where we're standing. So this is just a little bit out the center where we're standing, where we are staying actually, and we've come out, and this is a beautiful setup that the SABC has here with our correspondent Sophia that we're going to hopefully speak to as well. Now you can see the sun is rising, but one thing you have to realize, South Africa, is that we're 1 hour behind you. So the time now is, what is it? It's 6:45. It's only 6:45 here, but you can still see that there's this cloud hanging over, and this is a constant cloud. This is actually, it's a sand that comes in from the Sahara, so it's something you see all of the time that you're here in Abuja, but apparently in Lagos it can actually get worse. But I'm no expert on Lagos, and I'm no expert on Nigeria, but what I am becoming is an expert on Africa. And the reason being is because while we're teaming up with SAA and all of these launches of these routes that they're going to, they're giving us the ability to go into Africa and enjoy this. Now, we do know that the chairperson of SAA, Dudu Mnyeni's vision has been that Africa plan, which of course is at the heart and the center of all of it. Let's talk a little bit more about this African plan. Joining us now, we've got Aaron Monetsi, who's the acting GM of commercial for SAA, and of course Lusanda Gia, who's the GM of stakeholder relations at SAA. Both of you, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for
morning.
having us.
Like I'm saying, I'm not the expert on Nigeria, you are. I mean, you, for instance, and your trips to Lagos have been amazing. I mean, you've been coming, we've been flying here for 19 years, and I mean, it really is at this, it's like, almost feel like the center of Africa, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, and it's a great privilege for South African Airways to be able to do something like this, to work on building the relationship between ourselves and Nigeria. Is a phenomenal opportunity, I believe.
Yeah, it really is. It's a great opportunity. I mean, when we're dealing with a population of, 180 million people, we have to service this, don't we?
We do, Leanne, we do have to service them. 180 million and still counting.
Yeah.
The most populous country in Africa and the most traveled country in Africa. Nigerians have a passion for traveling.
Yeah.
We see that a lot. We've been flying now from Johannesburg to Lagos for just more than 18 years, and our flights keep getting busier and busier and busier. Hence, we are here in Abuja.
Yeah. The demand, I mean, is the demand here? Is it there to fill up the flights from Abuja?
Oh, yes, yes. People are saying to us, maybe you're going to cannibalize your flights from Lagos, and we're saying no. What has been happening is there's been a lot of development taking place between Abuja and South Africa, Abuja and the rest of the world. So we see the demand that is coming from Abuja, from a business point of view, business people traveling to Abuja, from government point of view, government to government, and from a social point of view, people visiting each other between South Africans and Nigerians in Abuja.
Yeah.
But the most important thing and exciting for us is the young population that is in the diaspora.
Yeah.
These are the guys who have gone out of the country, they've studied, lived there, qualified, they're back in their own country, they want to spread their wings in Africa. The demand is just amazing, Leanne.
What's also quite exciting about this, Lusanda, is it's not just about the airline. I mean, there's more to it. There's a whole CSI initiative that's happening. Talk to me a little bit more about this.
Well, Leanne, as you might know, the focus of SAA's CSI initiatives is really career awareness around careers in aviation.
Yeah.
So our flagship program is something called Sivulindlela, which is basically a container that we've converted to look like a simulated aircraft, when we take it down to the rural areas around South Africa, to show young people what it's like to be inside an aircraft, what you can do. There's different careers as well, and we talk through the whole gamut of careers that are possible. But we also have another program which is about promoting reading. This is now for our youngest learners in schools. And we do this in South Africa as well. But the exciting opportunity that availed itself for us in Nigeria was that our South African High Commission has its own CSI program. And they've identified a school in Abuja that they sponsor, that they promote different activities at. And the opportunity there simply was for us to donate, as we do, to some schools in South Africa as well, a mobile library. Yeah. So we're partnering with the South African High Commission here, which again is a unique opportunity, I think, that arises out of the fact that we are, in fact, owned by the South African government.
Yeah.
So we've entered into that partnership, and we will be leaving behind a mobile library for use by young learners in the school.
Wonderful. It's a really exciting initiative. But at the end of the day, and we can do all these wonderful initiatives, we can fly into these great countries, but we talk about an airline that is constantly being plagued by debt worries and always is. It is an airline that we have to worry about. But this African plan, going into Africa, flying more, is this the way of making money? I mean, is this the idea of turning this airline around? Do you think this is the secret? This is the answer?
Leanne, this is the core of our turnaround strategy. Because we talk about being Africans, we talk about being a catalyst for African growth. As you know, the rest of the world is beating a path to come to Africa. So our plan is to make sure that we look after the core part of our business, which is flying to Africa. We fly to 27 destinations in 23 countries, and we're still counting. There are other parts of the continent that we are not yet flying to. Our network planning and development team is actually working very hard to make sure that we do the analysis, the feasibility, we go through the process of obtaining our shareholder approvals, and we start flying into the destinations. The thing being, when we fly these customers, we fly them with a dual mandate to sell destinations in South Africa. We want people to come and visit us and see our country, but we want to be profitable. So we also make sure that we serve these customers and take them where they want to go to. Yeah. So when they come to OR Tambo, some of them stay over in South Africa, and some of them fly through into our network to places like the Far East, the Middle East. They go to South America, they go to Australasia. So what we are seeing is, because of our strong growth on the African continent, our turnaround strategy is beginning to kick in, and we're beginning to see a lot of revenue coming in. Very soon we'll be seeing that we'll become not as dependent on other sources of financing, but also we'll become self-sustaining.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you the best of luck. And it's been wonderful to be here and experience it. And hopefully in a year's time, when we do come back, you're going to be filling up planes every day of the week. Because I know it's 3 times a week right now, but every day is the plan.
I'm sure next year it will be more than 3 years.
Okay.
More than three times
a week.
yes.
Good. I'll wait for that one. Aaron, thank you very much for joining us. Aaron Munetsi is the acting GM of commercial for SAA, and Lusanda Gia is the GM of stakeholder relations with SAA. Both of you, thank you very, very much. You can hear the music starting here in Abuja. We can hear it. That's waking up. The city is certainly waking up. But I mean, like you say, this is the soft landing, right?
Exactly.
I've got to go to Lagos. I do. I have to go. You're the queen of Lagos. I know this. She's getting a reputation. So if I'm going to Lagos, I am coming with you. That much.
On South African Airways.
On South African Airways.
We'll
Absolutely.
Let's take a break. We'll see you after this. Stay tuned.